everybody, it's John DeLang. Welcome back to episode 2 of Why Should I Read That? Today we're jumping into a book by Frank Boettcher called How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. It's written in the first person by Frank, who was a phenomenal guy. He was a Major League Baseball player before he became a life insurance salesman. Just a really neat story. And this book gives principles of interaction between people. Not necessarily sales techniques, but principles. I really appreciate that about it and how it can apply to so many different situations. We've got to jump into 3 different things today. We'll only have time to in-depth cover one of them. The other 2 will be in my blog. I'll put the link below. First of all, and this is chapter 1 in the book, and Frank rates it as the highest skill to build as one looks into sales or just really just dealing with people. And that's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, excitement suppressed. Being able to jump across the table almost and let people know how excited you are about something, he rates as being number 1 in building the facilities or the ability to deal effectively with others. He puts right in here, and I mentioned he was a Major League Baseball player. Before that, he played in the minor leagues like most people do. However, his experience with enthusiasm was that he let his nervousness translate into laziness during that time. And he was actually fired for being lazy during his stint as a minor league player. However, when he was rehired, he jumped back into it with enthusiasm and determined to have a reputation of enthusiasm. He let that decision dictate his actions rather than his feelings dictate his actions. And that pulled him all the way up to the third base of the St. Louis Cardinals. Let me read you the ending quote in this chapter by a man named Dale Carnegie, who is a friend of Frank's, who's also the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. I urge you to make a resolve that you will double the amount of enthusiasm that you have been putting into your work and into your life. If you carry out that resolve, you will probably double your income and double your happiness. I love that. It's just a reminder of how much people enjoy being around those that are full of life. The second thing is what Frank Boettcher calls the number 1 reason why salesmen lose business, and he also terms it one of the worst social faults. That's called over-talking. If you and I were having a conversation, hopefully we'd be able to have a dialogue rather than me just talking into a screen or talking at you for several minutes on end. Third thing, backing up a second, with the second thing, Abraham Lincoln, one of the best at this. We'll jump into that in the blog post. Great example. Third thing, the mindset of having failure as a requirement of success long term. Being able to put the law of averages into your favor. Again, Frank Boettcher was one of the greats, or he ran with the greats in Major League Baseball. And one of those was Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth actually led the league in strikeouts. He led the league in strikeouts. He struck out over 1,300 times in his career. But he never let that hold him down because we don't remember him for that. We remember him as a famous slugger who kept hitting the ball out of the park. People don't remember you necessarily for the times that you failed, but only if you keep going will they remember you for the times that you've won. Bottom line, I recommend this book very highly. It's changed the mindset that I have on failure, as well as my resolve to put more enthusiasm into my life as well. So if you want simple, down-to-earth principles on how to deal with others, I recommend checking out this book. Not necessarily techniques, but principles. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate it. My name's John DeLang. All my stuff is linked below. We'll catch you guys next week for episode 3.